You know, when we think about protecting our brains, we usually imagine things like complex puzzles or maybe some expensive supplements. But what if the most powerful tool for the job was something you're already doing every single day? We're about to dive into a really groundbreaking study from Harvard that shows how just walking can literally act like a handbrake on brain aging.
I mean, think about that for a second. The idea that we have this built-in, totally accessible way to actively fight back against cognitive decline. Today, we're going to look at the science that turns that what if into a real concrete action plan you can start using immediately.
Okay, so to really get how walking protects us, first, we've got to meet a key player inside our brain cells. It's a protein that can be both a friend and, well, a serious foe. It's called the tau protein.
So, when it's behaving, tau is actually one of the good guys. It's totally essential. You can think of it as the scaffolding inside our neurons, our brain cells. It helps keep their shape and make sure all the vital nutrients get to where they need to go.
And this railroad analogy, it's just perfect for explaining this. Good tau is like the ties holding the tracks together, keeping the whole transport system in the neuron running smoothly. But when things go wrong, it becomes bad tau. It starts clumping up, forming these destructive tangles that literally block the tracks. This messes up communication between brain cells, and that leads to the kind of cognitive decline we see in diseases like Alzheimer's.
So that's our problem, tau protein going rogue. But here's the cool part. The science is pointing to a surprisingly simple and incredibly effective solution. Our secret weapon? Well, it's just the simple act of walking.
This handbrake analogy is really the key to understanding how it works. See, walking doesn't reverse damage that's already done. Instead, what it does is it actively applies a brake, slowing down that harmful buildup of tau before it spirals out of control.
So yeah, the link here, it's incredibly direct and it's powerful. The physical act of walking creates a real biological change inside your brain, targeting the exact problem we were just talking about. Every step you take is helping to regulate that process.
All right, so I know what you might be thinking. This sounds nice, but is it real? Well, this isn't just some nice theory. It's backed by some seriously rigorous research from one of the best institutions in the world. Let's look at the proof.
What makes this study so amazing is just how well it was designed. I mean, they tracked people for more than a decade. They used precise pedometers for step counts, and this is the incredible part, advanced PET scans to literally see the tau tangles inside people's brains. This is as close as we can get to watching the process happen in real time. Okay, get ready for this number, because it's a big one, 84%. So what on earth does that mean?
And here's the punchline. The connection isn't just a guess, it's measurable. A full 84% of the brain benefit they saw from walking was directly tied to its ability to stop tau from building up. It just goes to show how targeted and effective this simple action really is.
And it doesn't stop there. Here's another key number, a 40% reduction. But a reduction in what? And where does it matter the most?
Now this is huge. For people who were already at a high risk for Alzheimer's, just walking regularly slashed the buildup of tau by 40%. And it did it in the inferior temporal cortex, a part of the brain that is absolutely critical for memory. It's like a targeted strike against the disease right where it counts.
Okay, so the science is solid, it's really compelling. But what do we do with it? How do we take all this information and make it work for us, in our actual daily lives?
Well, the good news is the benefits start with super achievable goals. Just getting between 3,000 and 5,000 steps a day was shown to delay cognitive decline by about 3 years. But the real sweet spot, the point of maximum benefit, is between 5,000 and 7,500 steps. That could delay decline by up to 7 years.
And here's some more really encouraging news. The researchers found what they call a plateau effect. Basically, when it comes to this specific brain protection mechanism, pushing yourself beyond 7,500 steps a day didn't really add any significant extra benefit. That's the point where the handbrake is fully pulled. So the big takeaway here? Don't get hung up on that famous 10,000 step number. The best target for pulling that handbrake on tau is way more accessible than most of us probably thought.
All right, so we know what to do and we know how much to do. But there's one more critical question. When is the most effective time to start all this?
And the research couldn't be clearer on this point. The real power here is in prevention. The handbrake is most effective when you apply it early, during what's called the preclinical phase. That's long before any symptoms ever show up.
It's all about stopping the problem before it even really begins.
This is honestly the best way to think about it. It's not a chore, it's an investment. Every walk you take is like putting a deposit into a high-yield savings account for your future brain health.
So let's boil all of this down to 3 simple, actionable takeaways. First, start small. A goal of 3,000 steps is totally doable, and it makes a real difference. Second, aim for optimal. Try to work your way up to that 5,000 to 7,500 step range to really maximize those brain benefits. And third, act in prevention. The sooner you start making these daily investments, the more powerful the protection is going to be.
At the end of the day, all this amazing science puts the power right back where it belongs, at your feet. Every single step is a proactive choice, a real investment in the health of your future self. So the only question left is, how will you invest today?